This is your brother Gabar coming to you live from IAMFITPodcast. The Boogie Down Bronx. Also repping PA, California, Florida, entire United States, DR, you know, the whole planet. I've been thinking that, this whole Andrew Tate thing got me thinking that perhaps there's much more to the story. Because it's, what I've been seeing since Donald Trump, I want to go back, is that the deep state will stop at nothing to get what they feel is right. Now, this could be all because of corruption. It could all be because ideology. Maybe the deep state believe that they're fine and they're doing what's best for humanity. Maybe the deep state believes that we're wrong and they're right. Or maybe it's just simply corruption. Old school greed, money, power, lust, sex trafficking, children trafficking, all evil, drugs, sex, and rock and roll. It could just all be that. But the deep state's been attacking Donald Trump since he got elected. And I called this about 8 years ago when, 6-7 years ago, when I was speaking to my friend who's involved in politics. I told him that if Donald Trump gets elected, he's a free agent. He's not indebted to no one. So he's dangerous to anybody on the left or the right. And they're going to come for him. And they've been coming for him ever since. But then I think what's happening is that, and this is my theory that I want to put in the ether, and I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to play you guys some videos to line up all the connections, all the points, the bullet points, the connection, because it's a theory. I have no evidence. It's all a theory, and I want to test my theory with the audience tonight. So I want to play this video, and there's a guy on social media. He has a Twitter account, maybe a Google, Twitter, not Google. What's the other one? With these young folks, the TikTok, the Instagram, and whatever. But he has a Twitter, and in the Twitter, his name is Gary the Numbers Guy. And in early 2022, he predicted that Andrew Tate, or he got some word from his source that Andrew Tate will be getting arrested by the end of 22 to 23. So I want to play this video. I want to play some survey videos because I want to connect the dots. I'm going to pause a little bit, and I want people to come with me with this journey, right? So fair use. Sorry.
I like to think that if anybody sees a media article where I've been locked up for whatever it is, they're going to look at it and go, this is bullshit. Tate didn't do that. They think I'm out here doing bad.
And it looks like somebody warned Tate, because Tate was predicting this even years ago, that they're going to come for him. He said that he had there's three lives. First, they cancel you. If they don't, it doesn't work, they'll arrest you. It doesn't work. That doesn't work, they'll kill you. He predicted this also a few years back. Fair use.
Bad things. So when an article comes out saying Tate did this, I just pray there's enough people who are outside of the matrix to sit and go, this is some bullshit. And he doesn't deserve this, because I don't deserve it, because I will be innocent.
There's a tweet here from someone, and they posted it in October about this happening. Read what it says here, if you don't mind, Myron.
My sources in law enforcement have told me Andrew Tate will be arrested end of 20.
And this is from Fresh and Fit. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. They're doing their thing. And I confirmed it. They do have he does have a TikTok. This is actually hit right here. This is the guy right here. His name is Gary, the numbers guy. And I think I don't know what he does. I don't know his background, but he does exist. And that is the TikTok. And I want to show something real quick, right? So let me show this video, and then I'm going to go back to the TikTok.
2022, early 2023. No matter if he is guilty or not, the Romanian government is under intense pressure from the United States and big tech to shut him down.
There was a push
From the United States and big tech. Why is big tech in the United States one with Andrew Tate? He's a personality. He's a TV, a social media personality. Right? It's a much deeper than just he's a misogynist. He's bad for the youth or whatever. He's whatever it is. Is it much deeper than that? Because we may be just arguing about they are attacking manhood, and that I believe they are, but we're probably looking at the big picture, and I want you guys to kind of connect the dots with me here. Fair use.
From someone, maybe it's U.S., maybe it's outside source, to go after him and record it to post it all over social media to paint him in a bad light.
He's not wrong. Listen to this.
Why exactly are we still paying taxes in this country? Tax money used to go to better our communities, police, roads.
Okay, so let's pause there because I want to also touch on the other one right here. So this is the guy's website here, right? The TikTok, right? The guy Gary, the numbers guy, who predicted that there's somebody. He said somebody within law enforcement. And there's the video here. I want to play it again, but this is a different version because this has a little different. It also adds a video that Patrick Ben-David and Valuetainment also mentioned. He got a tip from some higher up that this is also a setup, right? So I want to play this video here.
And they posted it in October.
Matter of fact, let's play this video.
In October about this happening.
My sources in law enforcement have told me Andrew Tate will be arrested end of 2022, early 2023. No matter if he is guilty or not, the Romanian government is under intense pressure from the United States and big tech to shut him down.
Right?
I get a message.
Now this is Valuetainment, right? This brother's check him out as well. Valuetainment. His name is Patrick Ben-David. And he said something interesting as well, right? Let me back it up a little bit.
Shut him down.
I get a message this morning from a guy that's very, very connected. He said the following: I saw the interviews last night. I think the embassy put them up to it, meaning.
So he said the embassy put them up to it, meaning the arrest of Andrew Tate was a public lynching. It was big tech, according to Gary, the numbers guy, and according to Andrew Tate, Patrick Ben-David. And I don't know Patrick Ben-David, but he seems like a trustworthy guy. And this guy is well connected. I mean, this guy has insurance companies for the super rich. Matter of fact, maybe remind me to reach out to his company. He has an insurance company. Maybe some life insurance. We could maybe bring him on. But anyway, he got also a call by somebody in law enforcement connected. And they told him, hey, that looks like a setup. Right? Let me back it up a little bit.
I get a message this morning from a guy that's very, very connected. He said the following: I saw the interviews last night. I think the embassy put them up to it, meaning he's trying to say this is not accidental.
And they posted it in October about this happening.
My sources in law enforcement have told me Andrew Tate will be arrested end of 2022, early.
So Gary, the numbers guy, and Valuetainment, PBT, that's the initials there. You can look them up that way too. Both of them said that there is somebody in law enforcement or in government said that after big tech and the United States is after, or they are putting pressure on Romania to arrest this guy. According to the Ether, the files or the person who supposed to be the victim or is pressing charges is an American woman. I think they said something to him, sent somebody to him. That's why I keep saying, if Tate is involved with anything of webcam or having women around him that he doesn't know, if he could survive this, because this is a hit. This is not, they're going to play fair. Even in some few videos back, he mentioned that, Andrew Tate, that when they come for you, they don't care if they have enough evidence. They don't care if they have any legitimate reason to take you down. Excuse me, I'm getting off of the allergies. Drinking my tea, So to beat up this allergy. But anyway, why they're messing with Andrew Tate is because they are afraid of the message, or this is my theory. 2024 election. What's happening? And a lot of people are pay attention or putting their attention in the 2024 election. However, people are ignoring something else. There's been let me play this video real quick.
Wake up.
Wait.
Wake up.
Okay. There's a video that I played a while back. Right? It says, the real problem isn't who spend 4 to 8 years here. This is the picture on the top is where the president stays. That's the White House, right? But the real problems are those who spend 30 or 40 years here. This is Congress. And this is what's about to happen. And actually this year, I think the Republicans have a majority. What does that mean? What does that mean, folks? See, when the branches of government was being developed, they broke it down into 3 parts: the presidential, the Congress, these are the people that make the laws, and the Supreme Court, these are the people that make sure that the laws that Congress is creating does not violate the Constitution, right? So Congress is actually the most powerful of the 3. A lot of people don't know that. See, a lot of people think that the president is the most powerful of the 3. It's not. They made it that way. They made it for that reason. And I want to play this video real quick, right? This is Liz Cheney. She's a Republican who does not support Donald Trump. There are 10 Republicans that do not support Donald Trump, and she's one of them. And she just lost in the election. She got replaced by another Republican. There is a red wave coming, my friends. And when you have the House, when the majority within the House of Congress are Republicans, they could then vote a Republican House Speaker. You guys heard about Pelosi, right? Pelosi, she retired because she knew her days are numbers. And also there was that controversial thing with her husband a few months back, right? But that's a different conversation. We're now dealing with a situation that the Republican Party will control Congress, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. And many people are saying this is good news for free, loving folks that don't want to be controlled by the deep state. Other people say it's all a design. I don't know the answer. What say you? But I want to play this video. And I want to bring it back around to Andrew Tate.
There's
Pay attention.
Constant campaigning and elections. And I think that, what we're seeing now as a result of the fact that we don't know who's going to be in the majority is particularly...
So this video was uploaded about a month ago. So this is probably a few months back. It could probably won't be a year because we know who's going to be the majority. The Republicans are going to be the majority in the House. So this is before, this is probably an older video. However, though, she herself also lost her seat as a Republican who did not support Donald Trump. Make no mistakes about it. Donald Trump runs the Republican Party. And the Republican Party knows it. They know they cannot win without Donald Trump. They know if they put somebody against Donald Trump, two things is going to happen. Donald Trump is not going to forget. And if they're in a situation, they're going to spend their resources going against Donald Trump, against Joe Biden or whoever they're going to put up. The rumors out there, it may be Michelle Obama. That's the rumor. Allegedly, that's what's going out in the ether. It may be that they're trying to control or stop the wave of, the Republican, people that are constitutionalists, if you will, okay? And going back to that concept, there is a reason why they're gonna fight. They're fighting these folks so hard. Why they fighting Donald Trump so hard? Why they're going against Andrew Tate? I believe it's because they are afraid that if Donald Trump does run for office, which he is running for a second term, and if Andrew Tate is popular, which he is, and he's out there in the social media, if he has the power, the control to tell a demographic of young men to go vote for a particular candidate, he could, Andrew Tate endorsements of Donald Trump and Donald Trump endorsement of Andrew Tate would help both of them immensely. And I believe the deep state are afraid and they know it, and they take in anybody who they suspect that could be a threat in 2024. That's my theory. Pay attention, folks. Fair use.
Turn on the Republican side. I think that, we could well have a situation, if you think about how speakers are elected, on January 3rd, when the new Congress is sworn in, there'll be a roll call vote by, alphabetically, and members will have to stand and say, for whom they're casting their vote for speaker. And you could imagine a situation in our current environment where members at the beginning of the alphabet say Donald Trump.
This Republican lady who got kicked out of the Republican Party and lost her seat. This video was a few months back. She was afraid back then that Donald Trump could even get, if he does not run for president, which he is, he has enough power and pull within the Republican Party to put him as the also House Speaker. Is this what Donald Trump is doing as a backup? If they, according to him, this is what he believes, and 51% of the American population believes that the election was stolen. That's what they believe. He's reporting the news. And Donald Trump also believes that. Election fraud has happened in United States history in the past, so this is nothing new. I could do a history on that, or a lesson, or a show on that alone. Election fraud is not something that is rare. It never happens. It does happen, and it is a thing that we have to watch out for. Okay, there's been people on videotape bribing people for votes. Like, listen, I could produce this vote. You just pay me this money. And elected officials going to people on the black market or the underworld to get them these forgery ballots. That's nothing new. So that's what he believes. But is Andrew Tate a residual damage, unintended? Like, the problem was not really Andrew Tate, although he is encouraging young men to be strong and brave and heterosexual and be, look out for themselves, make their money, save their money and all that good stuff. But I think the much larger picture is the enormous power that Donald Trump has in regards of in the control of the Republican Party. Pay attention. Fair use.
You don't have to be a member of the House to be Speaker.
Let me repeat this. This is her concern. Pay attention.
And then failing to meet the needs of the majority of people who are less extreme in the general election. Your own experience illustrates this dynamic at play. Again, to my naive reading, it seems more extreme than before, that this trend has been amplified recently. Should we be doing something different systematically?
Well, I think, look, the power of individuals and the power of our votes is really significant and very important. And yes, we could well have a situation, if you think about how
pay attention.
Speakers are elected. On January 3rd, when the new Congress is sworn in, there'll be a roll call vote by, alphabetically, and members will have to stand and say, for whom they're casting their vote for Speaker. And you could imagine a situation in our current environment where members at the beginning of the alphabet say Donald Trump. You don't have to be a member of the House to be Speaker. And if people on the Republican side start standing up and saying Donald Trump, you could have an impact where many people say that, and where Donald Trump will begin to view that as some sort of a loyalty test. That's the power that he is holding right now over Kevin McCarthy and over a number of members in the leadership of the Republican caucus.
So maybe what's happening, folks, is that they understand the power or the potential power that Donald Trump can wield. I never voted in my entire life, so I never voted for Donald Trump. I never voted for George Bush, Kennedy, Clinton, Obama. I voted for Christ, and that's the guy I'm waiting for to come back and deliver me. However, though, I do not ignore politics and understand that religion and politics sometimes are in the same neighborhood, and as a religious person, you cannot ignore the politicians in the politics of the day. Christ, when he was walking around in this earth, he dealt with the politics of the world. He dealt with he understood the politics, and I believe that as Christians we must be involved and be aware of what's going on within the politics around you. How does it affect your religion or your belief in God, right? You must be not oblivious, right? You say, oh, God would save me. He would, take care of everything, yada, yada, yada. That's why Christ says, be watchful. Watch. Don't get caught sleeping. Look for the signs, right? If they persecute you in one city, run to the next, right? So Christ was not saying, hey, just don't do nothing, wait on me to deliver you, right? And the reason why I'm saying this, folks, is because what's happening? What's going on? Because people are catching on. People are catching on, and they know that Donald Trump, let's just say 2023, when the new Congress gets sworn in, they could sworn in Donald Trump. And maybe that was his plan all along, to say, you know what, I could probably do more effective in the House of Congress as the House Speaker than the president. If you read your Constitution, they wrote it with the understanding that the Congress has of more power than the other two. They made it that way. It's not the president. The president's power really got you always hear the government got enlarged, or the White House, the Fed got enlarged, and the White House got enlarged because really the president was really a commander-in-chief just in case there needs to be a war. So that's why most presidents in the past went to, were part of the military army or the Marines or the Air Force or served in the military, in the armed forces, because his greatest expertise supposed to be just in case we go to war. He's the commander-in-chief. But now what we're seeing is less war commander-in-chief, but more CEO, more the person who is supposed to be maintaining America afloat, financially speaking. And the military, its greatest purpose is basically backing up the dollar. The dollar is backed up by the United States government, military. But that's a different conversation. And I want to play this other video that how are people taking this particular speech, right? Because this is not about color and race, because even people of color are waking up to this nonsense that, Donald Trump is a racist, blah, 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 blah. They know that he is a loose cannon. He's not part of the deep state. He's not a perfect man. However, though, they cannot control him, right? And that's what they're afraid of. Let me play this real quick.
When the new Congress is sworn in, there'll be a roll call vote by, alphabetically.
Let me. Okay.
Certainly have a threat that we've never faced before in our country in terms of a former president who tried to overturn an election and for whom there's still tremendous loyalty inside the Republican Party. We could well have a situation, if you think about how speakers are elected, on January 3rd, when the new Congress is sworn in, there'll be a roll call vote by, alphabetically, and members will have to stand and say, for whom they're casting their vote for speaker. And you could imagine a situation in our current environment where members at the beginning of the alphabet say Donald Trump. You don't have to be a member of the House to be speaker. And if people on the Republican side start standing up and saying Donald Trump, you could have an impact where many people say that, and where Donald Trump will begin to view that as some sort of a loyalty test. That's the power that he is holding right now over Kevin McCarthy, and over a number of members in the leadership of the Republican caucus.
I told you Trump doesn't have to be president. He can be this.
So there you have it. People, because listen, I bet you this sister right here probably voted Democrat all her life, and maybe in the last 8-10 years, she's probably got woken up and realized the Democrats ain't about helping people of color, ain't about helping women, ain't about all of that. It's keeping us down and suppressed and always blaming the boogeyman, whoever that is. Racism, right? Homophobicism. It's always some boogeyman that doesn't exist that black people always and people of color always have to deal with. And this is what they are afraid of. If Andrew Tate will be around during that time, do the 24 election, and he endorsed Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump endorsed him. And see, regardless whether, and many of you guys those that do believe, well, they don't have to do all this, Gabar, because they could just steal the election like they stole the last election. Okay. That may be, if that's what you believe in. I'm not saying that they did or did not. All I'm saying is that the best way to have resolved that issue, whether they stole the election, is to audit all the problematic areas, which I think was Pennsylvania, the Carolinas, and I think Arizona. If they would have audited those three states, and if they would have found that Joe Biden won fair and square, then fine. It would have been a slam dunk. But because they didn't audit, I would have audited every single state, me personally. And it would have probably taken a month, maybe 3 weeks, depending, a month, maybe 2. But it would have been done, and we would have known who would have been the legitimate president. I don't know what happened. I just saw, different people like 2000 Mules talk about there was sufficient. Also Georgia. Thank you, Brother PJ. Also Georgia. If they would have ordered that state, or check all the votes and verified all the votes in those 4 states, I think that would have been a satisfactory thing for me to say, hey, Joe Biden won for fair and square. But because they did not, that question is always going to be linger. But even with rigged, right, election, it's not that you could rig an election if there's a landslide. Because if this time there is a landslide that they cannot catch up to. Because remember, you cannot have more votes in a state that you have more people. So there's limitations. So let's just say you have, 8 million people in New York. I don't know the number. You guys can look it up. Hypothetical. 8 million, 10 million, whatever that number may be. You cannot have 12 million people voting because only 10 million live in the state. So there's a way to balance this. And rigging is not so easy. They could just do it because it's not. It's a thing that has to be close and and so forth. So from all the documentary that I have seen and in regards of rigging election, it does happen in other countries. We have reported here in America about different. I think in Brazil there's a riot going on because they saying that election was rigged. So it does happen. The question is, does it happen here in the United States of America? I believe it does. But what I know, that's my theory. But it will fix the problem if they make a way to make it impossible to fraud an election. I would be for some form of, election ideals or something. I don't know the answer to that, but the bottom line, if you have both parties checking and witnessing each vote, going old school, you have somebody from the Republican Party, you have somebody from the Democratic Party, and they both have to agree that this vote is legit. They check all the dates, the signature, and they vote. They got to go old school. And that's the way they used to do it back in the days. But what I'm trying to say, this lady here was always voting probably. I don't know her. I'm guessing here. I'm speculating that perhaps she always voted on the left. So here you have Andrew Tate getting arrested. And I'm trying to figure out what's the reason? What's the reason? Because just because they don't want masculinity or they just don't want man to, yada, 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 the feminists want to keep us down. That sounds good. I'm not saying it's not true, but I think it's just much deeper than that. I think they're trying to stop this red wave. And the reason why they're trying to stop this red wave is for this reason. This is my theory. Because the deep swamp goes on. There's many people on the left and the right in the deep swamp. There's a lot of Republicans. They got a lot of secret lives and we getting all bent out of shape about Andrew Tate, but we are not getting bent out of shape with Maxwell. What's that lady? Epstein's girlfriend or whatever. What happened to the list? What happened to the list that she had? Why the FBI, instead of raiding Donald Trump's home, why they're not looking at this list and arresting these people? And I think that's what the deep state is trying to protect. The people on that list. And I think Andrew Tate's enemies and Donald Trump's enemies are the same people. And that's my theory. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine today. Then I think it was PJ. Shout out to Wise Old Man. Always feeding me information. Also, shout out to Brother Justin. Also feeding me all information. Some of the videos that I play here today came from his source. And if anybody wants to call, you're more than welcome. That number is 267-358-0859. 79, excuse me. 267-358-0879. Excuse me, 79. So give me a call. Or if you want to come in through the Zoom, I got the link in the bottom. Make sure that you have some decent lighting and some decent audio, and there's not a lot of noise in your background. I'm not going to talk to you if you're in your bed laying down. I'm not going to do that. If you want to come on the show, make sure you stand up and come up presentable, right? I'm taking a page from Kevin Samuels, right? Like, don't be talking to you in the bed in your tank top talking to another man. Like, dude, this ain't pillow talk. But anyway, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? What is the threat that Donald Trump and Andrew Tate and us, the heterosexual male community, what threat are we presenting to the global elite? I'm going to play this other video. Because I think this video would, let's see here. Okay, let me, I'm going to size this video up because I think this is what they're afraid of. And this is not what they're afraid of. This is what they're doing. And this is what they're planning. And the reason why heterosexual masculinity men who believe in God and stand what is right and want to live in an organic, real world of justice, of freedom, of choice and freedom to worship your God. And I'm pro-choice, and I chose life. You want to choose death? Well, that's on you. But maybe, perhaps, what they're afraid of is not having the ability to control.
Not just a new enhance.
Matter of fact, let's because a weak population, a population that follows along, a population that doesn't want any confrontation, a population that, it's not really a fighter. I'm just want to mind my business and just do my work and go home, and I don't want any trouble. I'm not that guy. I don't know if anybody here it is. I don't think so. And maybe the reason why they are afraid of us being attracted to guys like Andrew Tate or learning or being influenced by a guy like him, or validating, because, I'm about, 25 years older than him, than Andrew. He's 15, he's 35, 36, I'm 50, so that's like 14 years, I think. 14, that with math, excuse me. A lot of things that he was saying, it was like, oh, somebody else said it. Well, not the whole calling women bead and all that. And that's the only criticism of Brother Andrew Tate is if he's still doing the webcam business, and with all due respect, brother, if you're doing the webcam business, brother, you're going to lose a fan, because I'm a Christian and you're just supposed to have converted into Islam. I don't know if the Islam community will tolerate that or allow that, or maybe you're so popular that the Islamic community will just turn a blind eye. But us Christians, now pre-Constantine Christians, let me make that disclaimer, I'm not down with that webcam business. That's of the devil, that's not of God, and that's bringing in more damnations to this earth. And if you do believe in God as you said you do, and if you do believe that God is a righteous God and you want to be righteous and what is good, that webcam business, it's not going to work. You're being a hypocrite. And you're being a target. But more importantly, you're being a hypocrite towards God. And the reason why I'm saying this is it because this video I'm about to play, right? Fair use.
We may be on the brink of creating not just a new enhanced species of human, but an entirely new kind of being. We are one of the last generations of Homo sapiens. Within a century or two, Earth will be dominated by entities that are more different from us than we are different from chimpanzees. What the hell does that mean? That freaked me out.
Let me play this again.
We may be on the brink of,
I'm going to play this again. Pay attention.
We may be on the brink of creating not just a new enhanced species of human, but an entirely new kind of being. We are one of the last generations of Homo sapiens. Within a century or two, Earth will be dominated by entities that are more different from us than we are different from chimpanzees. What the hell does that mean? That freaked me out.
See, and they always have, because this guy from CNN, I think he used to work for the CIA, and a lot of people say he's a CIA plant and so forth, so on. Because, they usually got to present the person who is concerned about this new technology. But listen to what he said. He says that this is the last generation that we're going to be Homo sapiens. That's what we're supposed to be, right? Homo sapiens, right? Homo erect, sapiens, right? Man. God called, the Bible calls us man, right? That the next generation, or a few generations later, I thought that sneeze was coming. Okay. It's like it's right there in the middle. Wants to get out. Doesn't want to leave. This is the first generation that we have a scenario that my grandchild will be emerged somehow with this technology. In a population that is satile, laid back, a population that is not really fighters. I gotta work tomorrow. I've boss, he gets mad when I'm late, right? And listen, and I have no problem with blue collar workers. I come from a blue collar worker family. Shout out to the workforce. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that maybe Andrew Tate and Donald Trump represent resistance. Resistance. And that's the reason why they cannot have somebody like Andrew Tate running around talking about men being men, taking on the responsibility, getting their money right. Don't be spending all this money on chicks and be a simp and all of that and work out and be a man and learn how to fight and defend yourself. That population is dangerous to a world that they want to change the Homo sapiens into something so different that it will be between us in comparison to us and monkeys. That's how different we're going to be in the future, merging with this robotic, artificial intelligence. And I could go in deep in regards from a spiritual perspective, but I want to put that for another show. Transhumanism, which is called. Shout out to wise old man. What do you guys think? Is it a thing that they're preparing or they want to prepare a docile, party-driven, pleasure-driven population? Because, we have to have a conversation about, are we caught up in the matrix? If we have to get out the matrix, meaning the matrix is in the grid, off grid, getting out the grid, do we know how to survive? Do we know how to survive off the grid? If we need to go off the grid, okay, we're tough, we're men, okay, we're going to say no. Okay, but what are we going to say yes to? If we say no to them and they unplug us, then we can't play. We have to find another playground. So I want to make it a quick announcement. I'm going to put it together. Once a year, I'm going to do my annual Man Going God's Way retreat. It's going to be around the same time as the Feast of Tabernacle. I'll do it maybe a week before, a week after, not to intervene with brothers' religious beliefs. However, though, if there's different calendars out there, so it may land on the same week that you celebrate your Tabernacle Feast Day. But I believe that, I want to it's going to be like our version of the Feast of Tabernacle, Man Going God's Way, and it's going to only be for men only, not men and their wives and kids and all that. You could bring your son, your nephew, but it's going to be for men, and we're going to be having workshops and so forth, so on. We're going to be having different, classes dealing with maybe self-defense, dealing with survival stuff. We're going to have different, maybe I'm trying to invite different talkers and different speakers and so forth, so on. So keep your calendar open for those that want to show up to that. I'm going to be making an announcement, shortly. Man Going God's Way retreat, Tabernacle Feast. We're gonna and if you're really with a church, you go with the church. We're looking for more like with brothers that are not with necessarily with a church, believe in God, and want to camp for once a week. It's gonna be a week retreat, 7 days. I'm going to be making the announcement. I'm not going to be posting the location online, so you're not going to know until we talk and and so forth. So on. It's probably going to be. I'm thinking about either it's going to be in New Jersey or I'm looking at Connecticut. I'm also looking at maybe down south, Georgia or Atlanta or in that area. But who knows? It may be Texas. I'm not going to be putting the location on the air for security reasons. But, once everything gets across the board, it's going to be for Men Going God's Way, the organization I'm launching. And I'm going to be using that day as the launch date. But I'm going to be sending emails. I know I got the group email sending me, I got my folder that all the people that wanted to be part of the Men Going God's Way. I got your email. I haven't forgot about you. I'm just working some things behind the scenes to make sure everything's across the board. And one of the things that I want to be doing is having a launch of Men Going God's Way as the organization. And it's going to be launched in around September, around the Feast of Tabernacle. The date and the place I will be making. I'll let you know after those people that are interested in coming. And if you are interested in coming, I'll give you the date first, and then I'll be announcing that within a week or so. Definitely within a month on the date. But the place will be, an undisclosed location. You'll be given the location, a few weeks after few weeks before the event, excuse me. So for security reasons, but that's coming down the pipe, right? And those that want to be part of the Men Going God's Way, if you have not sent an email yet, you can send an email to IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com, IAMFITPodcast@gmail.com. So folks, there's evidence, circumstantial evidence that people knew that Andrew Tate was going down, and the people that was taking him down was big tech in the United States government. Why is big tech so involved politically? This is my theory. Because people now get the news not through CNN, Fox, and all these what I consider old dinosaurs that are dying. People don't watch the news like they used to. They get the news through Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, right? So now what we're seeing is the battle of the war of the left-right paradigm within the social media war. Because the social media platforms, apparently, whether they were designed for this or it happened by accident, they are now where people are going to get the news and what is the pulse of the people. What are the people saying? It's in these social medias. So now the social media world or corporation are picking a side, left or right. And I don't get involved in politics. I don't get involved. I don't vote, and I'm not going to vote. But I won't judge somebody who will vote. And I won't kill myself if I decide this year to change my mind and do vote. And I at this point, we got a caller, a 513 number. Let's see if we can bring him in or her in. Okay, peace and blessings. I think so. We got peace and blessings. You're live, 513. You're live on the air. What you got to add to this conversation?
Silverback orangutan. How you doing?
How we doing, sir?
Great. How did tech become so big and have become so powerful? There's one reason and one reason alone. During the time that Bill Gates was summoned to appear in front of Congress for having a monopoly in the computer fields,
yes,
what Bill Gates did was he walked in there and said, okay, if you want to break up this, that's fine. Go right ahead. But here's all the usernames that you currently have that are illegally using our products. You have 100 products, but you have over 100,000 logins. You're currently pirating my software but you're currently breaking a federal law against piracy. That's how Bill Gates became so powerful.
So you think that we lost the caller? Caller, if you could call back, I think we lost you. If you could call back, I think we lost you. You know. Hold on, 2 seconds, folks. Two seconds, folks. Okay. Did we have to call her back? Okay, I think caller, if you could call me back. We lost you. We apologize if we probably got a bad connection. But call us back, caller. But is big tech getting involved in politics because now they understand that is big tech is a thing that is part of the mind, the psyche of the people? Is it now something that is connected to the people, so they have to control it? And because the old way of communication is dying. Some people say it's already dead. And the new way, or the new place where you can control the hearts and minds of the people, is in these platforms. And it now is a race of info. We literally in the info war. Shout out to the info war, Alex Jones. We in that arena. What say you? If we could get some callers, please, you could call in at 267-358-0879. Because this is my theory, folks, and this is my what I believe. We got to do something. We got to do many things, but we got to do something. And I believe that something is preparing for the collapse. Some people may say, okay, we have to get involved in politics. That may be a reason, a purpose. If somebody runs for office and they within the values that I believe, I'll bring them on this show. And I think we have to put an S on that something. Some things. Many things. And what I believe as a Christian, we have to be in this world, but not of this world. And we have to start preparing how to get off the grid, get out of the system of, okay, I need this dollar to survive. I need money to survive. I need a system. I need to be in a system that I could be making money. And I'm about making money. However, though, is that how they keep us in control? So, because, I got friends of mine that they got doormans in their buildings. They greet them, hand them their mail, and, and I told them, hey, brother, do you know how to even put a tent up? You ever been camping? If you got to hit the woods for a week, well, you know how to survive a week? I've never been camping. So that's why I'm putting together a camping trip. look out for it in September. Man Going God's Way Tabernacle Feast. And because we have to start going back to nature. We're going back to nature. We're going back to basics. And I'm not going to stay long because I got some things to do tonight. I got to do some work, so I just want to just come in for a little bit. Next week, I'm going to be inviting or interviewing my brother Joe Rodriguez. What is it? What is that? What's the word? What is the optimistic seeker? What is his name? Is the optimistic seeker? That's the name of his podcast, and he's going to be coming on next week, either Thursday, maybe this Thursday, or next Tuesday. But folks, in closing, it's like this, right? Something is happening. They want to do something to us. We got different theories. But it's in the air. Sometimes you could feel it. You could sense it. They want to make us docile. And that's the feeling that's out there. They want to make us docile. They want to make us agreeable with their agenda, whatever it might be. I could sit here and say, hey, fight, say no, stand up, say no, stand up for your rights. And all that sounds good, and it is good. But start preparing. Can you survive? If you say no to them, and they remove all the resources, they have all the resources. If you don't want to be in the grit, if you don't want to be part of the matrix, but the only way you could eat, you could function is having the job that they give you, having the business that you could create around this system. Can you survive outside this system? That's the more important question. Neither are you tough enough to survive. Yeah, okay, we all tough. But it says, Christ says, be humble as a dove and wise as a serpent. So maybe it's time for us to start operating in cognito. Don't promote everything we're going to do. And I think that's part of Andrew Tate's problem. He promotes everything that he's doing. He talks about if you're going to go against the enemy and things of that nature, and people don't understand this, having what they call FU money, it's a lot more. I mean, Andrew Tate, I think he's worth now, he claims he's a billionaire. Some people say he's, 500 million, 900 million, whatever it may be. Let's say it's $1 billion. You're not dealing with billionaires. You're dealing with something much higher than billionaires. And when you're speaking against the people that you're speaking against, they're going to come for you. So maybe we have to support Andrew Tate, support Donald Trump, support anybody who is teaching truth or talking truth. But maybe sometimes you got to support in secret. Maybe sometimes you got to operate in stealth. Maybe sometimes you got to not scream so loud. Be brave, but also be smart. I got to go. Love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support, you could. You got the super chat, and also the PayPal. Right, the PayPal is the hashtag IAMFITPodcast. Cash App is the $ IAMFITPodcast 1, the number 1. So thank you for supporting the show. We'll be back next week or maybe this week, depending on my schedule. And the Most High keep you and bless you. Shalom.